Ba, 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 da, ba. Yo, can y'all hear me? What's up? It's been a little minute. Let me make sure I still know how to do this. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook land? It's your boy JD, aka Mr. December, and we are back with another live conversation. Did y'all miss us last week? I missed y'all. I really did. I did not feel the same not being able to do the show. But you know what? Sometimes things happen. But we're back this week, and I'm so excited about tonight's conversation. I'm so excited to have y'all join me. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Help us get to our next goal of 3,000 subscribers. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good, but I think we could do a little bit better. So y'all don't forget to like the video on your way in. Comment down below. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, you can hit that super chat button, and you can hit us up in Cash App. Cash Apps are in the description box. But we're not going to prolong the time. Y'all know I got some friends with me. So first of all, ladies first, we got the lovely Antoinette in the building. What's up, Antoinette?
Greetings, family. I miss y'all. I miss y'all. I miss y'all.
I
So
know.
it is a pleasure to be back in action.
Oh yeah, definitely. So glad to see you. And I got my good brother in the back for backup. Y'all have been enjoying my friend, my brother, my bishop. Y'all give it up for Pastor Pride. Say something to the people.
What's going on, fam? Good to be back, man. I missed it last week, man. I was looking forward to it, but like you said, interruptions, Doc, interruptions.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, especially about the topic, man, that you shot over immediately. I was at football practice, man. I had to find it on YouTube, Doc, and listen. So I was like, man, this dude. So I'm excited, man, about tonight.
Good, good, good. I am excited. Do y'all hear that echo?
We did.
Okay, I think it's gone now.
It
Make
is
sure I wasn't
gone.
tripping. Okay, all right, we're doing good. And we've got in the building our other homegirl, y'all. Our friend, our sister, the one, the only Alabama church girl. Say something to the people, Val.
Good evening. Hey, good people. It's your Alabama church girl here first, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. To all the leaders, the saints, the friends, everybody, y'all get on in. Go ahead and tag your neighbor and say, come on over here, girl. This is hot tea and it's about to get poured.
Absolutely. Don't forget to share this video. Now, I feel a little bit out of my element, but we're going to do the best we can. I know y'all didn't recognize me when y'all first came on screen because I look a little different, right? I got my glasses on. I hate wearing my glasses. I can't see as well as I would like to with my glasses. So we're going to try our best not to struggle stream tonight. But yeah, we're doing good. So you're looking at the title, you're looking at the thumbnail, and it is time to jump into the conversation, y'all. Your boy Shaq, man. Your boy Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, right, was recently on the Pivot podcast. And Shaq has some things to say. I know a lot of talk has been going around about Shaq being or admitting rather that he was the reason for his divorce, right? So that was pretty interesting. Sometimes we don't see people take accountability. Shout out to our other Antoinette in the building. Thank you so much for joining us. But that among other things is he covered a lot of topics, right? And I will put a link to the full podcast in the link to the script in the link down below. So Shaq says he wants his daughters to find a man they can control. What do y'all think about that? Alabama Church Girl, let's start with you.
Well, why you come to me first, JD?
Because I saw the look on your face.
So, I'm not surprised. I mean, I know you talk a lot about the high value man. And I'm okay with you talking about him because I study him a lot. I told you I know what caliber I like. So, and this is how they think. That's why I ask, when we talk about the woman that a man wants versus the woman that he wants his daughter to be, how are we gonna match these two up? Because high value men are not telling their daughters to be the same type of woman that they claim they want, or that some people are claiming that that's what they want. No, they're not doing that. Because when it comes to, we're in a capitalistic society. Mm-hmm. And we have to understand how wealth is first created and also how it's kept. Now, I will give Shaq this. I wore my Texas sweatshirt today because y'all know I was in Texas a couple of weeks ago and I got to see Shaq and I became a fan overnight of Shaq because I realized this man, when I saw him, he was DJing and he was good. Like, he put on a great show. And my eyes were open to, like, dang, this dude is already a champion in his own right in his first career. Then you see him on the talk show, the ESPN talk show. He's great on that too. He's so entertaining. And then he's on all these commercials and getting all this advertisement money. Like, dude, what else can you do? And then you doing it all well. I was very impressed with that type of work ethic, that type of tenacity. That this man is huge. Like, his presence speaks for itself. Did I tell y'all he blew me a kiss? I should have rolled my cowboy hat.
Yeah, you didn't forget to put that in there.
But all that aside, the fact that this man explores all of his talents and he leaves nothing on the floor. When the Bible talks about the parable of talents and how one was given 10, and then he was also given what the other person didn't use, I think Shaq has gotten what the other people are not using because this man is doing it. Then after we left, I saw a report of him about to open up a franchise of chicken restaurants. Like, he's doing the doggone thing. But I listened to that whole show he did on that podcast, and he said so many wonderful, powerful nuggets about wealth creation and how to maintain wealth, what he's teaching his children, how he's going to allow them to explore, but he's not going to spoil them. He gave so many details and he shared so many nuggets. But at the same time, I see we didn't pass by him saying for his daughters to be with someone that they can control. Now, I don't agree with controlling. I don't believe either party should try to control the other. But y'all know me. Y'all know me well enough to know I do believe in partnership. And I don't feel that any woman should try to seek out anyone that they are going to allow, any man that's going to allow them to control them. I also don't feel like women should partner with anyone that is trying to control the woman. But I do believe in equal partnership. And you got to understand, if you're going to be with Shaq's daughter, she didn't come empty-handed and a begging pauper. She is well taken care of. And she really doesn't need you to try to control her. So I understood, the premise behind what he said.
All right, Pastor Rob, what do you think?
Well, I listened to it, the whole entire thing of what he said. Just listening to where he came from and the stuff that he had to deal with. Didn't know, his stepfather was his real father. Wasn't his real father until he was 11 years old. And his mom asked him, did he want to meet his father? And he was like, hey, why not? And he's saying, who his father? He's like, okay, mom, I'm good. So, and I listened to how he said, his sons turned 18. They got to go. But The daughters can stay as long as they want, pay for their college, get their doctorate degree, whatever they want, right? And then he goes on to say, hey, my daughters, I want them to find a man that they can control. So basically, in a nutshell, he wants them to find a weak man, right? Somebody that's weak that's going to bow down to them, because he know men, right? He's a man himself. I met Shaq when I lived in Miami when he played for the Miami Heat. I met him when he was with his wife, and basically, I feel he's saying, "Hey, look, guys, there are some cruel Negroes that's gonna try to get you just for your money because hey, they know Daddy got it, right? So find somebody that's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna do what you say do, and but just so they can be a part of the family, So any real man, like Alabama church girl say, he want to partner with his wife, partner with her so they can work together, right? If I got full control of my house, then what part do my wife play? If a female has full control, what part does her husband play, right? So somebody's going to be feeling less than a woman, less than a man, and that's not what you want in a relationship. You want partnership, right? Because me and my wife had a little powwow when I got off, came home from practice, right? About something. I was like, listen, woman, I raised my voice. I was like, whoa, 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 tone it down. I can't raise my voice. I got to speak to her because guess what? I don't control her and she don't control me, right? And that's kind of ironic. You want to talk about that, right? Even though I'm the man, I'm the oldest, that means nothing. So I see what Shaq was saying, but on that part, he was wrong. The rest of it, I feel about putting values in your kids.
All right, Antoinette is on you.
Well, as he is a brother of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, humility may need to be incorporated with the men he would like his daughters with. Now, I absolutely do not agree with seeking out a partner that is weaker in thought, finances, and goals than yourself, because then that's not a partner. That's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship. And that leaves the doors open to cheat and do whatever else you want to do. And they just gonna be there, like I said, little puppy. That's not a balance. And to have that type of energy in a relationship, it's non-productive and it's just gonna cause a whole bunch of trials, tribulations, and turmoil. Nobody wants that. Um, and if you do, then hey, that's on you. But I don't have time for it. The way my mental space is set up, it's like, are we taking care of business together? Now, again, like we've said before, there are certain roles and times when you need to lead the way, and you could balance that off. But there's time and places on when you want to take the lead in your relationship. Not saying that your partner is weaker than you, but you have come to a consensus to say, hey, baby, all right, whatever you decide is best for us, we're going to have this conversation and then move forward. But to dictate, that's not going to work. So I absolutely do not agree with having a partner that is weaker than you. Absolutely not.
Y'all have given some really, really interesting answers tonight. And I want to commend you all for being so politically correct and nice and distinguished and respectable and professional and all that stuff. But I want to tell you all what I think, and I don't think that I'm going to be as studious as you all were. I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And the reason I think it's dumb is because, and I see where he's coming from. These ain't no broke people that we talking about. But the reason I think it's dumb is because number one, if his daughters are going to carry on his legacy, right? His estate or whatever, because he did say in the clip that he liked his daughters more than he liked his sons. So maybe one of the daughters will get the estate, right? So number one, it's going to be pretty difficult for his daughters to find somebody in their tax bracket that they can control. And the reason I say that is because obviously women usually want to date somebody that's I see Val. Usually women want to date somebody that's has either equal or greater than what they have, right? As far as net worth, earning potential, or whatever, right? Now, if they want to find somebody they can control, men with that kind of money are not going to be able to be controlled. If she goes with somebody that has lesser money, that can be controlled, a regular dude, right? Then she's not going to respect him. She's not going to respect him like she would any other man. Y'all can say what you want to, but no woman respects a man that she can control.
Can I be
Go ahead,
funny?
that's right.
I just got to be funny, right? She can find a Will Smith.
Perhaps, maybe so, maybe so. Go ahead, Alabama Church Girl. You had a problem with me from the get-go. What's up?
No, I don't agree that she can't find anybody in her tax bracket. No,
that she
I
can
don't
control.
agree. Look, first of all, I don't like I said before, I don't feel like anybody should be trying to control anyone because we're not animals, we're not pets around here, we people. And just like there's a godness about you, there's a godness about me too. He breathed the breath of life and I got the spirit too. So, don't try to control nothing over here. That's the only thing that's the only person that's going to control me. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to be respectful of one another in this relationship. But darling, there are lots of men that have big tax brackets. There are lots of men. Now, are they all brown men? No, not all. But it's lots of men in the big tax bracket. Okay? So she gonna find somebody.
I'm talking about in her tax bracket.
That's what I'm saying.
Now you went. Wait, whoa. Now let's really look at this now. We talking hundreds of millions of dollars. Yes. That's not a lot of people. That's not a lot of men.
JD.
That's JD. The top.
We're talking about somebody who has access to the world.
That's a fraction of a percent of men.
JD, we're talking about somebody that has access to the world. It's plenty of men around the world that got it.
Okay, but that's only a small percentage of men.
You're gonna find somebody,
but it's still
hundreds of millions of dollars.
His daughters are. She gonna find somebody.
I'm saying a man that's if she's taking. Let's go with they're taking their father's advice, right? Let's go with that. Pop, I'm looking for a man I can control. But in my tax bracket, come on now. If a man has hundreds of millions of dollars that are in the top piece of a percent, they are not going for being controlled.
So let me tell you something. I hear echo.
We're gonna get that worked out.
That's around Chris.
All right, go ahead, Alabama Church Girl.
So, all right, I've already made my disclaimer. I do not feel like anyone should be trying to control anyone in a relationship. Whether you same-sex relationship, opposite-sex relationship, nobody should be trying to control nobody. We're not pets. Now, with that being said, Shaq is telling her one thing, and we know who their mama is. Women know how to control a situation without actually controlling a situation. So she could let him think he got control and be controlling. So, I mean,
Did y'all hear that? Y'all know what that sound mean, don't you?
I'm keeping it 100% real with you. Because, I mean, I sometimes I don't know. I don't know if we on the same page because I like to keep it real. All
Nah, I don't think we're on the same page. But
right, so
but we
let's bring up an
I get what you're
example.
saying. I
Let's
get
bring
what
up
you're
an
saying.
example. But look at Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson came from a very fine pedigree. Janet waited to be with somebody and married someone that was a higher pedigree. Now they say the person that she married was controlling, very much so controlling of her. But we see Janet Jackson walked away with half in the end. So who actually controlled the situation?
I mean, your point is very well taken, but at the same time, right? Uh, Janet Jackson, how many times she been married and divorced or whatever? And she did
Right.
marry some pretty good guys or whatever, but yeah, that's the thing. I got that down in my notes, matter of fact, but we'll go ahead and jump into it now. So if the shoe is on the other foot, right, then it's not as accepted. That's a double standard that I guess work in women's advantage, right? Because he's telling his daughters to find a man that they can control. But women will leave men for being controlling.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? So
I don't think. Sometimes I
why
think
shouldn't a
that
man leave a woman for being controlling?
he should, because I'm gonna teach my son to leave.
But see, exactly. So if it were your son and Shaq's daughter, and you know that he said, find you a man that you can control, is that the type of woman you would want your son to be with?
See, I'm teaching him how to vet them right. so we're not
So
hooking up with
basically, you would tell him not to be with a controlling woman, right?
right.
So why is
Absolutely.
this acceptable? Is my
I
question.
didn't say that it is. I don't agree that it is. But I'm telling you, with the way things work now, it could happen. It could happen. And I think that it's it's ignorant of men to think that they come in a relationship controlling anything, and especially to announce that. It's ignorant. It's ignorant because we call Earth Mother Earth for a reason.
Hmm. Your point is very, very, very well taken. And put a pin right there. Don't forget that thought. Don't forget that thought. We coming back. Pastor Rob, we're gonna go to you, then we're gonna go to Antoinette, and then we're gonna jump into the clips.
All right, so I'm gonna go biblical wise, right? The Bible teaches us train a child up in the way they should go. When they get old, they won't depart from it. So you have to ask the question, what are you teaching your children, right? So Shaq is already teaching his daughters, hey, find you a man that you can control, right? So that's what they're going to be looking for, but that's not necessarily what they need, right? Alabama church girl, I was saying, she's going to tell her son, hey, get away if you got a woman that's trying to control you, right? And me personally, I have two daughters, right? I don't want a nigga trying to control them, and I don't want them to try to control a nigga, right? You got to have balance somewhere, because when you have someone that's always controlling the person, one day the person that's being controlled gonna flip the script. They're gonna get to the point where their backup is against the wall, And now that's where that whole domestic violence and all that stuff takes place. So we have to make sure we're training our children the right way, right? A lot of people, when they get married, they and I got my book right here, right? I got two of them that I did plenty of marriages, right? Got two books, right? And people always talk about the obey part, right? It don't just go for the woman, but it go for the man as well, right? So if it say go for both, that means we got to balance it out some type of way. So in that case, Shaq is teaching his daughters the wrong way, right? He's teaching them the wrong way. So you find this, find that. No, 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 no. You find someone that you are compatible with, right? It will be hard. Any man, like, okay, for instance, if I want to talk to one of his daughters, I ain't got that type of money. I ain't no $100 million person, right? I'm $100,000 person. You know what I mean? So she got me on that because I make 100,000 and you got over 100 million. Don't mean you're gonna control me either, because I'm still a man, right? And I'm still human. The Bible said, "Do unto those as you have them to do unto you," and that's all I got to say about that. Follow it by the word and what the word tells us to do.
We can't
Struggle
hear you.
streaming already. Pastor Rob, I'm with you. When you're right, man. Antoinette, what you got?
When you get to a point when you're acting out of character or you have to perpetrate like Jada, then that's a problem. And again, I'm always saying if that energy is not right, then you need to move the hell on, regardless of what seeds are being planted from your parents or whoever's influencing you. If it don't sit right, go ahead and move up out the way. Because with Shaq, he's saying, okay, I'm trying to train my daughters to find somebody who's weaker than them. Okay, that may not be the cloth that they're trying to be cut from. Because he's not saying find you somebody for a relationship wise that you can control, or find you somebody who's weaker than you to marry. He's just saying it, period, across the board. But how are you going to find your partner, yourself, and your balance if that's the only thing that you're looking at, even though you've been blessed with a plethora of money? At the end of the day, those estates could burn down, the money could go away, and you just gonna be stuck. So what you gonna control when all is lost and gone, hypothetically speaking, you know? So what seeds are you planting in order to back up your trained behaviors of accepting weakness? Because your partner is supposed to represent you. So what you trying to say about your daughters? Because you're allowing them to stay in your house until they get their doctorate, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're doing is now having them be just paper chasers and perpetrators. Why? Why would you want a partner and have your children set up so when you pass and transition on, that they have a weak backbone? That makes no sense. Absolutely no sense to me. I don't like it. Can't hear you.
Struggle streaming out. It's the glasses, man. It's the glasses. Antoinette, your point is very well taken. I agree with everything that y'all are saying. Now, let's hear it from the horse's mouth himself. Let's see here. We're gonna get we're gonna do this right now. All right, so we're gonna play this clip. We're gonna listen to it, and we're going to dissect this further. Let's go.
For more because they're more sensitive, they're more caring, and they're thinkers.
Wait, hang on. Let me go back a little bit.
I'm handing it over to one of y'all, the one that deserves to run it and keep it going. So they know and understand. My oldest son is in college. My oldest daughter is graduated. She works for Pepsi. I really have 6 fabulous kids. I don't have any complaints, and they're doing well.
You said when you get 7, you got to hand it over, which brings me to a question. Do you have a favorite of your children, or have you been accused of favoritism?
I like my girls a little bit better.
Wow.
He likes his girls a little bit better.
I applaud his
Because as a
honesty.
man, you have to protect, provide, and love for your woman.
Do you trust them more than you trust
Yes,
your
I
son?
do. I do. I trust them more because they're more sensitive, they're more caring, and they're thinkers. You know how boys are. Like my boys, you bring a something and right in front of them, they go, you know what I mean? They go,
Pastor Rob, what do you think about what he's saying?
Well, of course, his daughters is his favorite, right? My daughter's my favorite. All I got is daughters. But maybe we gotta look at it. Okay, maybe his boys are giving him the most hell. Maybe his boys are not. I don't know if they in school or trying to get degrees or whatever. Maybe his boys are the ones that's really trying to smooch off of him, and the girls are just there trying. Hey, dad gonna pay for my degree. I'm finna just go to school, stick to dad. So you don't really know the entire story. The reason he is catering more to the girls. Now I know me as a man, as a boy, when I was growing up, I did some crazy stuff, right? And women, so they say, mature quicker than men, right? Because we have the tendency to just kind of men develop slowly, right? They just want to, kind of hang out, chill, do whatever they want to do, and women more about their business. So that could be the fact. The reason he's catering to the girls because he feel like they will be able to handle the family business and do the right thing, where men can sometimes get naive, and just take it for a joke, and we men do that sometimes. So, and women do it too, but we men are typical, take things for granted, and women are so used to holding on to things and make sure it progress. So that could be the reason why. Could be, don't know. You on mute.
Doggone it. It's the glasses, y'all. I promise you it's the glasses. Antoinette, what do you think?
I think that with him saying, as I got older, he realized the the arguments and the mistakes, quote unquote, that he made with Shawnee, his ex-wife. So I feel as though because of how he treated one of the most important females in his life, he is now trying to resow um, a commitment and setting up a better agreement with his daughters than what he did with his ex-wife, because he admitted, it was part of his doing that caused the split and the divorce. So I believe that that's why the daughters are
Okay,
more in
Antoinette,
favor.
let me jump in here real quick. So,
Hmm.
do you think that that's projecting his regrets and his trauma onto his children? I mean, do you think that maybe it's some healing or some therapy that could have been done, right? Because to me, it just seems like, I'm not saying that this is definitely what's going on. I'm just saying it seems like he's coming from a scarred place, going by what, if we're going by what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Do you think that that's projecting that onto them, and is that a healthy way of looking at it?
From the outside looking in, I know there's different components to his why, but I believe that that has some things to do with it. Therapy, like I said, regardless of how much money you have, is always a good thing to do. And I've noticed that, again, as we get older and we start aging in life, we start thinking. We now have that opportunity to think about our actions, our behaviors, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, the what ifs. I think it's definitely a part of a healing process that he's trying to come to terms with through the enactment with his daughters. So I definitely think it's a part of it.
Okay. Alabama church girl, come on with it. Let it fly.
So did y'all see him shed a tear when he started talking about the demise of his marriage?
Yeah.
I do feel that there probably is, and these are just my thoughts. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I hadn't been in this man's life. I don't know. But these are my thoughts. I think maybe there is a little bit of hurt still in his heart, Maybe he is overcompensating a little bit. Now it's nice. He got it to, keep his girls in the house and pay for all their degrees and make sure they're well taken care of. He kept saying, my responsibility is to protect, provide, and to love these girls. And maybe he has drilled that down on himself that really that's what he should have done with their mom as well. He sounds like he's regretful of not protecting that relationship as well as he could have. He does sound like he's happy that his ex-wife has moved on and found somebody that she can be happy with. But maybe he is. But I will say, as a parent, there are things that I do with my child trying to right some wrongs that my parents did. We don't know, we don't get a handbook on how to parent, and we don't know the right or wrong way to do it. We really are guided by the spirit and our emotions on how to do it right. So, who's to say that he's not doing it the right way? I can't hear you, JD.
I'm gonna take these glasses off in a minute.
So
Your point is very, very, very well taken. But let me jump in here and ask you a follow up question, right? So we heard him say that it was his job to protect and provide for his daughters, right? But it seems like, I'm not saying that this is what's going on, but it seems like while he's trying to uh, protect and provide for his daughters, it seems like he's not teaching his sons how to do that in return. You see what I'm saying?
I have heard him I have heard him tell some other stories about his sons, and I don't think so. I think that Pastor Rob probably has it right that the sons don't listen as well as the girls do. Because I know I heard him tell a story about his son really wanting to get a very expensive car to match his, and he's like, no, you're not ready for that. I'm gonna get you a car, but you won't get that one. That they just it sounds, this is just the way I perceive what the story he told, as though the boys really want to just ball out and be spoiled rich kids, and he wants them to be more grounded. That's the way it sounded to me.
Do you know why they want to ball out?
Because they spoil rich kids.
Well, that too, but it's probably also because of the fact that they know that that's what girls their age like. So the city girls get the bag, right? All that good stuff. But let's go a little bit further and see what else they have to say. This is pretty interesting.
So, and like I tell my boys, when y'all get 18, y'all got to go. Girls can stay as long as they want.
I said the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Are you serious when you say that?
Yes, I do.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Y'all can stay as long as y'all want. Take your time. Go to college. Get your master's. Get your doctorate. I'll pay for it. Take your time. I'm trying to teach them about all types of men. And what to avoid. Like I tell them all the time, I said, don't mess with somebody that everybody wants. Daddy, why? I said, because he got too many options. There are too many options, and depends on how he was raised. He may take advantage of those options.
Alabama church girl, what do you think about what we just heard?
Good advice.
Hmm? I would tend to agree. Pastor Rob, what do you say?
Pretty much, he's telling them right. To be honest with you on that, because I know how I was back in the day. Right, I was a womanizer. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That was me. You know, I think I'm okay looking. So I had some choices, right? And I played the field, right? And you know, I did what I did. So yeah, I want my daughters know right now. Stay away from that. It is what it is. Stay away from it, because he just want one thing. So yeah, he's telling them right. He's teaching them right. But what is he teaching his sons? You see what I'm saying? He needs to be
Right.
teaching them the exact same thing. Stay
Don't
away
be
from these
that.
gold diggers. You stay away from them. They only want one thing. They see what you got. They see the type of car you drive. They know who your dad is. So yeah, they're gonna try to leech on you. They're gonna try to, they'll give it to you on the first night. It is what it is, right? And us as young men back in the day, you know, we one night stands. It is what it is, right? And with those one night stands, are you protecting yourself, right? Because a couple of things can happen. She can get pregnant, or you're gonna leave there with something that you can't get rid of, and I ain't talking about no child, right? So you just have to put it like this: don't just tell one, tell them all. Don't be biased. All of them need to know what's out there in the real world. Okay, so they just need to know. So he told them right, but he also should have told his sons the right thing as well. Don't just put them out at 18. You know what I mean? Because they're not, a lot of them.
They're not ready, right?
I wasn't ready to go, right? I wanted to go. I can't wait to get out your house when I turn 18. I wish I can go back now. You know what I'm saying? But but that's just how it is, though. So yeah, he was right and he was wrong at the same time.
Absolutely. Antoinette, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't agree with him. I agree to a certain extent, like what Pastor Rob said, that both children, the males and the females, need to have the same standards ingrained on them, that, hey, there's going to be ones that's going to come for you. And the way that society is now, and everybody identifying themselves with all these different standards and what they are and what they aren't, and how they satisfy themselves, there's so much going on that both your sons and daughters need to understand and still be protected under your household, especially since men um, are still at a risk of being schizophrenic by the age of 25. So you about to have them out in this world dealing with this foolishness. Women are vicious, okay? So whether they in the house or not, they are vicious very much, okay? And we know how to manipulate a lot of stuff. So even though you trying to be daddy's little girl and whatever, and you getting this and you're allowed to do that, some of them get to be pretty rough and cutthroat. And that may turn into a whole nother escapade that you're not ready for. Because, like I said, society is different now. And you have to protect both your sons and daughters at all costs. So I believe that, especially if the sons are already just asking for cars that's equal to you, and you the one who been working for these past 40 years, then baby need to still be in this house so I could teach you a couple of things. I absolutely do not believe that they need to be kicked out at 18, because you need to learn how to build your credit. You need to know how to build upon yourself and your self-esteem and be able to tell somebody, hey, you ain't what I'm looking for. We can handle this for the night, but then after that, you got to go, because this not going to continue. I just need to satisfy myself. You have an itch, I got an itch. I'll call you some other time and sneaky link it again. But no, I don't agree that it needs to be son and daughter versus each other. They need to all be taught.
Absolutely, Alabama church girl. We coming to you next. I see the look all over your face. I personally, I agree somewhat with what Shaq is saying. He's giving his daughter this part, right? This part he's giving his daughters really, really good advice and really solid advice. But I have to tend to agree with Antoinette. It seems like he's really biased towards his boys because, hey, I know how y'all are, so y'all just go ahead. When it seems like he should be teaching them how to be respectable young men and contributing members of society, right? So I think that I don't know if it's a mainstream narrative, but I think that this is dangerous for our young black boys and our young black men to hear, because it's like, oh, well, I don't get any assistance from my father when he's well off. I got to go out here and get it out the mud, while my sisters don't really have to do anything, but they get all of the benefits. It's already, now where we always hear the black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. Young black boys are starting to wonder, like, why am I hated so much? Like, why do y'all hate black men? Like, what is it about me that y'all don't like, and I didn't do anything, right? And I think that that's very problematic. Alabama church girl, what do you think?
Now I didn't hear you. I didn't hear him say that. I didn't hear him say he don't like his sons, and I didn't hear him say that he would provide for his sons. They just got to get out. And I wanted to jump in when we got on that, because as a parent who has a 17-year-old who's about to graduate high school in 3 weeks, I understand, because I have said, that I wished. Because let me preface by saying this: my parents made it clear to me that when I turned 18, I had to get out and I can't come back. And I'm a female, and I did it, and I didn't. I had to go. You going to college? You getting out of here, and you gonna continue. You ain't coming back home. Don't look to come back home. You gonna do this. Don't get in your shaking in your boots and get so scared and get out there like, oh, I can always run back home. So, that made me strong in some ways, some aspects where, okay, I know how to grind. I know how to hustle. I know how to make it happen. Now, with that being said, as a parent of a kid, a boy, a 17-year-old boy, I have said, I would not mind if AJ wanted to stay home and go to college. As long as he's going to college and working, he can stay at home. I have said that I wouldn't mind, taking care of him a couple of years. He's staying in the house a couple of years after he got out of college, because I understand that this is a cruel world that we live in. But as a parent that got to live with that personality, I'm ready for him to go. You got to go.
Well, thank you so much for being honest with us and telling us how you really feel.
So I understood him. I understood what he said when he said it.
Oh my, yeah, I'm not there yet, so maybe one day. Shout out to Antoinette in the chat. She says it's the parents' job to teach the children those things. Absolutely, the issue is the parents are failing the children. I tend to agree, and you can look at it from a lot of different angles, because we just stated that, it seems like Shaq might be failing his sons in the situation, and
I'm sorry, JD, I gotta cut that because I didn't hear him say that. I know I heard him say that all of his hit kids have to get 2 or 3 degrees under their belt before they can get the keys to the palace. All of them. And I did hear him say all of his kids, all of the older ones, are in college or graduate. One of his daughters is graduated already.
Yeah, so his daughters.
I don't think, but his sons are in college too. We know one of them goes to LSU.
One of, is he paying for it though?
Yes.
Well, he said he paid for his girls' college. He didn't say that for the men.
I didn't hear him say he was not going to take care of his boys, so I don't want to put that narrative out there because I didn't hear him say
so
that.
What does that mean?
All of the other details that he gave lets us know that he is taking care of them kids.
But when they get but when they get 18, he said they on their own.
No, he said they got to get out, and I understand that.
Right?
I'm so looking forward to being an empty nester. I am so looking forward to having naked time with my husband. I can't wait. He got to go. I'm looking forward to going in the kitchen and the countertops are not sticky because he done dropped stuff and then walk it up. I'm looking forward to that.
But sticky from something else.
Amen.
Shout out to Lawrence Jones in the building. He says gang culture push the issue of sexing girls, or they fight to be in the gangs at a young age. Sexualization starts early. The dangers of peer pressure isn't a priority anymore. Our society is too dumbed down. Hey, you got a point there, Lawrence. When you're right, you're right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going and see what else Shaq has to say. This guy.
I was trying to tell you, so you should get somebody that you like, somebody that you respect, and somebody that you can control. And that's what you should be looking for. Like if you trying to mess with a guy that everybody like, it's gonna end up being crazy. Right. And then I was telling them, don't mess with nobody like your daddy, because your daddy used to be an animal like that.
along that point, because you're damn secure along there, bro. You controlled your whole life with your ability. Everybody kissed your ass. Since when? What day did you figure out everybody was going to kiss your ass? What age?
I don't want everybody to kiss my ass.
What age did they start this?
Gotta find a new spot. So there y'all heard it. Find somebody that you can respect, somebody that you can control. It is my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I want to get y'all's opinion. It is my opinion that women will not respect somebody that they can control or run all over. What do y'all think? Anybody? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? What do y'all think?
I would have a lack of.
Say that again.
I said I would have a lack of.
Thank you for being honest. Antoinette, same?
Yeah, I don't need somebody I could run over. I need somebody to help balance me out because I'm crazy. And I am headstrong. I'm headstrong. But if you have that masculine energy to be like, hey, baby, you need to calm it down. All right.
Yes, sir, Poppy.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. What else you need me to do? What else?
Okay. Now, looking at my notes here, let me ask the question, do women want men that they can control? Do you want that?
I don't.
Not in a relationship and something that I'm trying to grow. Like I said, for a sneaky link or something, then okay, fine. Get on, get gone. But for a relationship and somebody that I'm going to be committed to, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because again, I'm not going to respect you. I'm not. And you're going to get on my nerves. And I'm going to be so disrespectful until you find a way to get gone. Because we ain't the same.
All right. And I got to agree with both Antoinettes right here. Some women do want that. I saw a lady on Kendra G a couple of weeks ago. She said that she wanted a man that was going to submit to her. Right? So, You know, it's a little strange out here in these streets. But I want to ask Pastor Rob this question. Now, how do I say this? He said, find somebody that you can like, you can respect, and you can control. Now, we've already heard the lady say if a lady can control him, right, then they're not going to respect him. We got 3 for 3 on that, right? What I did not hear Shaq say was get you a man that's God fearing, get you a man that's marriage minded, get you a man that can lead. Because a man that can lead is not easily controlled. What do you think about that, Pastor Rob?
He just want them to get a man. uh, a man that he said, a man that you can respect, a man that you can control.
It's a toss up, right?
If you respect him, you won't try to control him, right? So, of course, God's nowhere in there because that's not how God intended to be. He said man, not husband, right? There's a difference. Because a real man is not going to let a woman control him. I'm like Antoinette. She, you get crazy. Hey, sit your down somewhere. Who you talking to? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Anything else? You know what I'm saying? A woman know how to put her man in check. A man know how to put a woman in check. Right? When it's that time. Okay? A real woman don't want a man that she can control. Period. Point blank. Right? So Shaq has made it clear. He's already taught his girls. Find you a man, not a husband. Find a man, not a husband. You know why? You know why? Because he admitted he wasn't the husband he should have been. He was just the man that provided, right? Because of who he was and what he had, right? That's why they ain't together now. He just simply said, hey, don't find no man like me. He told him that. Don't find a man like me. You see what I'm saying? So he don't know. He's contradicting everything that he said when he started off. So here you go. Find y'all a man. No, I teach my girls. Well, one of them, she's 7 years old, so I can't teach her nothing like that. But my 14-year-old really don't want to teach her nothing like that. But find, if you're going to date someone, whether it's a man or a woman, whatever you choose to date, make sure you're happy, right? That's number one. Be happy. But you got to know what you want and what you need. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just go, I put that back. You got to know what you need, not necessarily what you want. Because what you want may not be what you need, right? Everybody won't get married. We know this, right? Like Antoinette, you got you a little freaky dick. You call every now and then, when you need a little fixing. Hey, do what you do. Because you know that person ain't compatible to you. You see what I'm saying? So, Shaq, man, just be honest with yourself and be honest with your kids. That's it. I don't want my daughter looking for a man. Find your husband. And find someone that's better than me. You see what I'm saying? I love my girls. I will give them the world. Like my girls, they ain't got to leave the house off the top. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you to just go leave and be with a Negro who ain't gonna treat you better than what your daddy do. Nobody. If that Negro can't do more than me, you don't need that nigga. Vice versa with women. You see what I'm saying? If my wife can't do better than what my mom did, I don't need you. If you can't wash dishes, if you can't cook, which I love to cook, but if you can't, my house is always nasty, I got a problem with that. So I'm sorry, it got to work together. So yeah, he wrong, dog. He wrong. Find a husband. Men,
There
find a
you
wife.
go. Facts.
Not a
Now,
boo thing. Enough boo things going around right here. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Now, Antoinette, you kind of got a look on your face. What's up? What's up?
No, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to find nobody. If the energy is right, then then we'll get it together. If that energy is not right, then we ain't made to be together. When the time comes and our paths come together and that journey is clicking to where that's it right there, then that's it right there. Just like with mine, I listen. When he walk in a building, I smell him. I know you here, and I know you about to shorty swing my way. You coming over here? All right, cool. Come holler at me. And then we're gonna holler at each other. And you just know when it's right. I'm not training nobody for nothing. When you know it, you know it. You feel it in your soul that that's who you're supposed to be with, regardless of any seeds, like I said before, that have been planted from your parents, grandparents, friends, whatever. Nobody could give you the advice you need for you in your relationship and what makes you happy. Now, again, we say as far as with them little butterflies and stuff, if somebody giving you butterflies, that's not the right thing. That's not the right feeling. That means something else going on. Okay? Don't listen to them butterflies, because if somebody's making you sick or you feel uneasy and off balance, that's not your person. But if you could literally wake up each day and be like, damn, that's my boo, hell yeah, then that's your boo. And they may not fit in that puzzle piece that you've been given, but when you have that person, they make the entire universe, the picture, even brighter. So that's it. I'm not looking for nobody. He found me. We good.
There you go. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Shout out to Lawrence Jones again in the building. He says there's too many blurred lines these days, and we got to get back to the basic of the duties and standards of ladies and gentlemen. Lawrence is on it tonight. In my opinion, the general prerequisite for husband and wife decency. Let me leave this up here for a second. Lawrence, you're absolutely right. And I feel you. But there's a lot of people out here these days that do not agree with that. Right? Gender roles, you know what I'm saying? What the man is supposed to do, what the woman is supposed to do. A lot of people wouldn't agree with that. But I think that that's really the root of where all of this came from. Part of the reason why that our families have been torn apart, because nobody wanted to be held to a certain standard, and then at one point the standard stopped being passed down. You know what I'm saying? Because just like this situation that we're witnessing with Shaquille O'Neal right here, it seems like that he's coaching up his girls, right? But is he coaching up his boys in the same way that he needs to? And what really bothers me is the fact that he was just, kind of, how boys are. I know men at their age. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like they need to be coached
we're
up.
not boys. We don't know. We're not boys.
Well, I mean, I kind of know, but if you teach them, hey, this is what's going on. This is why you feeling this way, right? And this is how you handle it. This is how you move, right? It shouldn't be just a thing about boys will be boys, right? But you need to guide them, right, and coach them and let them. Look, my cousin, my youngest cousin that we have, right? I remember when he was first getting started walking, right? And the funniest thing to me was when he started walking on his own and going, trying to figure stuff out. My uncle, he got to where he stopped holding his hand and leading him where to walk, right? But he would get behind him and just let him walk, right? And if he was going the wrong way or doing something wrong, he just grabbed his head and point him in the right direction, pat him on the back, and he's going that way. I think that we need more of that with our men, right? Hey, let me, you kind of figure this thing out on your own, but if you start going the wrong way, I'm going to correct you, right? I'm going to correct the issue and let you know this is the way you need to go. This is why you don't need to go that way. And this is why this is the better option, right? It shouldn't be a situation, and I think that in the black community, our generation was failed, right? And previous generation, and we're continuing to fail because nobody is giving that correction. When we know better, we should do better. And it now is time out for just do what I say and don't ask no questions. People these days got loads of questions. Kids want to know why. Teenagers got access to more information than they've ever had, than any generation has ever had, and they're asking questions. And they can just go up and pull up anything and read, but a lot of times you don't know who wrote that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Somebody want to say something?
The problem is, and I find this everywhere. You can't teach something you don't know, and that's all to it. I can't. If I don't know how to be a man, a real man, a godly man, how can I teach a young boy how to be a godly man? You see what I'm saying? Teach them in the ways that they really need to go. Because when we grew up, I grew up in the 80s, right? I'm an 80s baby, barely made, born in 81. But however, we didn't have social media like our kids have now, right? A lot of our kids are learning from the internet. They're not learning from good role models, right? And that's why it's so important. We as godly men need to be training our young men, because we got a lot of single family households, right? You got a lot of single mothers that's trying to raise a son, right? A mother cannot teach her son how to be a man. Why? Because she's not a man. She cannot do that. Necessarily she needs some. I mean, I'm just saying she can't teach a young man how to be a man, right? Mother may know how to tie a tie. She may have to do stuff like that. But that's just like me. If I was a single parent, I got daughters, right? I can't teach my daughters necessarily how to be a woman. I don't, because I'm not a woman, so I don't know how to do that. Right now, if I was single and I was, single parent with a woman, and I would pray like, Lord, please show me who my wife is, so she can help me raise my daughter. You see, and that's how women should be at the same time, and that's why it's important that we have our children in the church, because there got to be a godly man in there to show our men and our women, young women, how to be when they grow up. So the thing is, I can't teach anyone anything that I don't know. That's why Shaq probably said, "Find you a man." Right? He never mentioned in there about his stepdad being a godly man. Never said anything about his dad being, godly man. He just my stepdad was just a man. And somebody, I think in there said, well, was he your, father or something like that? It's a difference between being a dad and a father. It's two different, right? You got a sperm donor, as we say, sperm donor, and then you got somebody that's going to be there and raise your child, rear your child, right? Like for example, I lived in the house with my dad. My dad was a great provider, right? But I learned how to be a man from my grandfather. I learned how to change oil from my grandfather. I learned how to work with my hands from my grandfather. My grandfather taught me how to fish, taught me how to hunt. I didn't get all that from my dad. Why? And I'm not afraid to say it. My dad, he worked, but he spent his time at the shot house, right? Hanging with his people, hanging with his boys, right? He brought money home to mom. He brought the check home to mom, but he spent time with his fellas. I can count on my hand how many football games my dad actually came to see me play from little league all the way up to college, right? I know, right? So we need to learn how to spend time with our kids and teach them values, good values. And that's the problem with society today. No one's teaching anybody anything.
Who else wanted to say something? I agree with you, Pastor Rob, 100%. Go ahead, Val.
So I've shared with you all before how I really long for my son to have good black male role models in his life, because there are some things that I know as a mom I cannot teach him. And I greatly appreciate who my husband is in his life. But he came in on the tail end, of him maturing into manhood. And, he's taught him a lot of things, even still. But even there's a culture difference. My husband's Greek, so he doesn't know the experience of a Black American young man. So there are things that I long for him to gain from Black men, and I understand, that not everyone puts God at the forefront of their life. So I can understand Shaq not mentioning godly expressions. But at the same time, I will say this. As a mother, I know that there have been times when my son will ask me some hard questions about adulthood that, I really, had it been my mama, she would have just said, stay in a child's place. But I had to try to provide an answer that will lead him into a proper place of maturity. For instance, my kid has always wanted us to have a mama, daddy, child in the house. He has always wanted that. Even when he was like 2 and 3 years old and me and my ex-husband were going through separation and divorce, he would, if we were dropping AJ off one to the other, AJ would say, Daddy, kiss mama. He would say stuff like, because he wanted to see that. He has always wanted to see that. He always wanted that. And he would get frustrated with me when I would have to take him to grandma's house because I got to work, and he used to be mad, like angry at my job. Like, don't they understand that you got a family, and seriously, this kid he's mature. He's a mature thinker. And I would have to explain to him, say, listen, I understand what you want. I understand the picture of family that you want to see. But what I need you to understand is life didn't bring mama in that direction. But you have the opportunity to paint your picture. I have to really get really serious and real with him. Son, my son is tall, he's handsome, he's articulate. These girls be after him. He's an athlete and a musician. They be after him. so and he likes girls. So I have to really have a hard, strong conversation with him. AJ, I'm not gonna teach him, Save yourself to marriage. Don't have sex before you get married, because that's not reality. I know these kids out here trying stuff. But what I do teach him is you have to protect your seed. This is your future. Your seed is your future. You can't just drop it off everywhere. All ground is not fertile ground. I have to teach him, protect yourself. My 20s, I got married at 23. I had a child at 25. I was divorced at 30. I spent my 20s being a wife and mama when I should have been, YOLO, having fun, So I teach him, wait, enjoy your life. I'm going to be here to help support you through it. Enjoy your life. Get your degrees, go and travel, get your house already established, get your good job already established, so that when you're ready to have this woman in your life, when you're ready to be a present figure for your children, you can be there. And you won't be fussing. Your kids won't be fussing about why daddy always at work. You know what I mean? So I have to make him realize, the reality that we live in is not necessarily what you have to have. The things that you don't want to see, the things that you see right now that you don't want to see in your future, you have the opportunity to change that and make it very apparent to him how. And I also teach him, don't play with nobody's daughter. If you know you ain't serious with her, break up with her. Don't be in no relationship with nobody, and always tell them the truth. If it ain't serious, AJ, don't pretend like it is. Don't lead nobody, because that's how women get crazy. And if she get crazy, your mama, your mama can get crazy. So don't do it. Spare us all. But I have to have these really raw and real conversations with him so that he can be a better man. The things that I have learned from life, that he can learn from what I've already experienced, so he doesn't have to experience the same things.
I agree with you, Alabama church girl, 10,000%. And Jay Emmanuel, shout out to my bro in the building. He says that is wisdom. Absolutely. So listen, y'all, our time is almost here, and we gotta run. But I thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for Lawrence Jones, Jay Emmanuel, Antoinette, everybody in the chat. Jay Emmanuel says, thank you for sharing Alabama Church Girl. Absolutely. That was deep. Absolutely. Really deep. So, final words, Pastor Rob.
I just gotta say, Alabama Church Girl just summed it all up, man, in a nutshell. So that's nothing else for me to say, Doc. She did a wonderful job summing that up.
Absolutely. Antoinette is on you.
I support and love my sister so much. You did the damn thing, girl. You did that.
Isn't she awesome? Isn't she awesome? A shout out to you. And shout out to Gabrielle White in the building. She says, this was a great show. I enjoyed all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And listen, y'all, we will be back next week, right? Well, we're going to have another great topic for y'all. We're going to have some good content dropping throughout the week, so y'all stay tuned. Listen, don't forget to like the video on your way out. Until next time, YouTube, it's your boy JD, aka Mr. December.